Hello. Nice to co-create with you here. This is perfect timing as always. I've been on a bit of a rampage of unappreciation this week. So I've worked in the field of education for most of my life. Even since I was a kid, I was a teacher, instructor, leader, or coach.
Before you got here, you were that. You're a teacher to the very core of your being.
Yeah, I feel that. But I'm struggling with this sort of uphill battle of education. To be blunt, I constantly feel like this field either asks me to prove my worth by documenting everything, getting more degrees or certifications, or trying to rationalize why something is worth the money, whether it's the staff, projects, tools, etc. I don't think this is just a symptom of education, but it feels particularly strong now as I watch money, funds, teachers, grants, research get cut left and right.
Well, every bit of what you're saying and every bit that you'd like to keep saying that we're stopping before you get too far into it, all right with you?
Yeah.
Everything that you're saying is true in the sense of that's the way they're playing the game and that's what. However, you heard how we began, and what we want to point out to you is that we said to Esther, and she's been translating it for us ever since, and it's such a powerful tipping point. Is this your opinion, or your intention? Well, because your opinion is all about what you've been seeing and how it's been feeling, but your intention can be something else. And so we know that what you want is this, but what you said just now was that, and that, and that, and we know that's the basis of these kinds of questions. We get why that's happening. But what we want you to hear from us is that when you are decided, and we're not just talking about decided by giving it lip service. Esther coined a really cute phrase. She was so proud of herself. The only service you get around here is lip service. Great service, but it's all lip service. Well, dun, dun, dun. Not good for her point of attraction. Funny, but not good for her point of attraction. And so what we want to point at you in a stronger way so that you can hear it is that your words that you may be speaking about your desire or intention are not being contradicted by these words. These words are just evidence of the contradiction that exists within you that you are interpreting with these words. So you're explaining how it is instead of what's becoming. On the broadcast the other day, we started out with almost the same sort of thing that we're starting out here with. Someone with powerful intention and powerful observation. Only, unlike you, she went back and forth a little more than you did. You went bump, 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 bump. But back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So we told her a story. Some of you have heard this story, and it's a ridiculous story. A true story, a powerful story, and it's the right story for the beginning of today. So before Esther knew Jerry, he was an entertainer. And for quite a long stretch of that time, he was a master of ceremonies in different arenas, usually big arenas, not always, but usually. And so he had a gig, as he called it. He was a master of ceremonies in a big arena in Canada. And the prime minister was there to address. Long time ago, it was Diefenbacher. Long time ago. And so Jerry wanted to get his picture taken for his portfolio because, like you say, all of the stuff all the requirements. And so he decided that he was going to get his picture taken with the Prime Minister. And everyone said, no, it's not possible. When he asked permission, no, it's not possible. Well, he didn't take no for an answer because somehow his stubbornness let him know that he was the decider of what was going to happen and what was not going to happen. So he began proclaiming, I'm going to have my picture taken with the Prime Minister. Not to anybody that could stop him, but to everybody else. I'm going to have my picture taken with the Prime Minister. What would you like with your eggs, bacon, or ham? I'm going to have my picture taken with the Prime Minister. How much fuel would you like us to put in your tank? I'm going to have my picture taken with the Prime Minister. Every opportunity that he had, I'm going to have my picture taken with the Prime Minister. I'm going to have my picture taken with the Prime Minister. As he told that story to Esther, she was almost embarrassed for him because it just sounded so ridiculous. Really, Jerry? Did you really say that to everybody? Everybody. I'm going to have my picture taken with the Prime Minister. I'm going to have my picture taken with the Prime Minister. And what happened during that 3-month period, between the time that he knew he was going and the time that he actually showed up there, he convinced his own vibrational frequency that he was going to have his picture taken with the prime minister because he did not allow a contradictory thought into the conversation. If somebody was going to give him a contradictory thought, he ignored them. He stayed away from them. He went nowhere that would dilute his intention. So he hired a photographer. What do you need? I'm going to have my picture taken with the prime minister. Photographer was local. He said, oh, that's unlikely. He said, I've been around here. Jerry said, I'm going to have my picture taken with the prime minister. Well, I'm going to have my picture taken with the prime minister. The dignitaries are going to be over here, and they're going to be there, and I'll be at the microphone, and I'll go to announce them, and I'll just stumble and fall, and I'll get hold of his hand, and you get over there, and you get the shot. You get the shot. And the photographer said, I need to be paid in advance. And so Jerry paid him in advance, and he showed up. So he goes to this big arena. There's nothing going on in the arena except the people that are looking for bombs. They're taking all of the speakers apart and looking under all of the chairs. And Jerry is there, and as he walked in, it was just those people doing the work, and one little lady with white hair sitting right in the front row. And Jerry just went and sat right down next to her, and she said, hello. And he said, hello, I'm going to have my picture taken with the prime minister. And she says, you are? And he said, yes, I'm going to have my picture taken with the prime minister. And she said, well, my son is a minister of parliament, and I'm here. I'll arrange that for you. And so it was prearranged, and they stood together before the ceremony started, and Jerry got his picture taken with the prime minister. But when you think about it, most people are not willing to be so determined that they don't care what anybody else thinks about anything. But it's decisiveness, and we don't mean decisiveness of how you're going to bang it into place. We mean decisiveness of what you want, because your inner being is like all of the cooperative components times millions. When you're decided about something, it does not matter what anybody else thinks about it. You can have what you want, meaning you can be effective even within the existing structure. The existing structure can be different than it is just for you. You can be the exception to everything when you've decided something in a powerful way. And until you do, there's no answer. Until you do, you are at the mercy of stupid rules and stupid things that really don't have anything to do with you. Your ability to teach is your ability to uplift. And your ability to uplift is your ability to attract. And your ability to attract is your ability to have your bag of marbles under your control so that what you're attracting from everybody matches what you want. When you get clear like that and only the marbles that match what you want are active, anybody's marbles that are different than that can't enter into the equation. This is law. This is law. That's why you see all kinds of people. Seems like the ones that break all the rules are the ones that everything works out for. Seems like that. But it's a law of attraction thing. It's not a disservice thing, and it's not a lucky thing, and it's not a karma thing. It's an attraction thing, period.